Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real today. Every single morning, before the world starts talking to you, before social media gets your attention, before problems knock on your door, you have a choice. You can either wake up and let life hit you, or you can wake up and build your mind. See, most people don't lose in life because they lack talent. They lose because they start their day empty. They wake up checking messages, checking problems, checking other people's lives. But they never check their own mindset. Ladies and gentlemen, let me slow this thing down and talk to you from the heart, because this right here can change everything if you really hear it. Your morning thoughts shape your entire day. Before you ever step outside, before you answer a phone call, before you face a problem, your mind has already started writing the story for the next 24 hours. Most people don't realize that the battle of the day is often won or lost in the first few minutes after waking up. See, when you open your eyes in the morning, your mind is empty space. And if you don't intentionally fill it with something strong, something positive, something focused, the world will rush in and fill it with fear, doubt, stress, and comparison. That's why some people wake up already tired, already irritated, already defeated. Nothing bad has happened yet, but they're already preparing for the worst because of how they think in the morning. Your mind believes what you tell it consistently. If the first thing you tell yourself every morning is, "I'm tired, I hate this, my life is hard," your mind says, "Okay," and it starts looking for proof. But if you wake up to be here, I've got another chance. Today is an opportunity. Your mind shifts. The same life, the same problems, but a completely different response. Let me tell you something real. Life does not get easier just because you wake up. Life gets easier when you wake up prepared. And preparation starts with how you think. When you build your thoughts early, you don't react the same way to negativity. People can say things, situations can go wrong, plans can change, and you don't fall apart because you already decided how today was going to feel. Some of you let yesterday follow you into today. You wake up thinking about mistakes, regrets, losses, things you can't change. And that mindset steals today's strength. Our morning thoughts are powerful because they set emotional direction. You can't drive forward while staring in the rearview mirror. And you can't live today while mentally stuck in yesterday. Successful people are not immune to stress. They're just intentional in the morning. They decide how they're going to think before the day decides for them. They don't wait for motivation to show up. They speak life into themselves, even when they don't feel like it. Because feelings follow focus, not the other way around. You don't need an hour. You don't need perfection. You just need intention. A few quiet minutes, a moment of gratitude, a reminder of your goals, a clear decision that no matter what happens today, you're going to show up as your best self. That small habit changes how you walk, how you talk, how you react, and how others respond to you. When your morning thoughts are strong, your confidence rises. When your confidence rises, your decisions improve. When your decisions improve, your results change. It's all connected. And it all starts with what you allow into your mind when the day begins. If you wake up every morning building fear, don't be surprised when your day feels heavy. If you wake up building belief, don't be surprised when opportunities start showing up. You may not control everything that happens to you, but you absolutely control how you start. And how you start determines how you finish. Your mornings are not random. They are powerful. Treat them that way. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something that most people don't like to hear, but it's the truth. Discipline starts before motivation. A lot of folks sit around waiting to feel motivated, waiting for the right mood, waiting for the perfect moment. But motivation is unreliable. Some mornings it shows up and some mornings it doesn't. Discipline, on the other hand, shows up when you train it to. See, motivation is a feeling and feelings change. You can feel excited today and tired tomorrow. You can feel inspired one moment and doubtful the next. If your entire life depends on how you feel, then your life will always be unstable. That's why discipline has to come first. Discipline says, I'm going to do what needs to be done whether I feel like it or not. Every successful person you admire understands this. They don't wake up every day feeling powerful, confident, and ready. They wake up tired just like you. They have problems just like you. But they made a decision a long time ago that their feelings would not control their future. They move first, and motivation catches up later. Most people think motivation creates action. That's wrong. Action creates motivation. When you force yourself to get up, to read, to train your mind, to work on your goals, something happens inside you. Confidence grows. Energy builds. Momentum kicks in. But none of that happens if you stay in bed waiting to feel inspired. Discipline is not about being harsh with yourself. It's about respecting your future more than your comfort. Comfort feels good now, but it costs you later. Discipline feels uncomfortable now, but it pays you back later. Every time you choose discipline, you are telling yourself, my dreams matter. My growth matters. My future matters. Let me say this clearly. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to knock on your door every morning and force you to become better. You had to do that yourself. And the days you don't feel like it are the days discipline matters the most. Anyone can work when they're excited. Winners work when they're tired. Discipline in the morning sets the tone for everything else. When you keep promises to yourself early in the day, you build self-trust. And self-trust is powerful. Once you know you can rely on yourself, fear starts to shrink. Doubt starts to fade. You stop quitting so easily because you've proven to yourself that you can push through discomfort. Some of you are not lacking talent. You're lacking structure. You have dreams of no discipline. You have goals but no routine. And dreams without discipline stay dreams. Discipline is what turns potential into performance. It's what separates people who talk about change from people who actually change. Here's the truth. The life you want is on the other side of the work you keep avoiding. And discipline is the bridge. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. You just need to start showing up consistently. Small disciplined actions done daily will always beat big motivated actions done occasionally. When you stop negotiating with your feelings and start honoring your commitments, everything shifts. You walk differently. You speak differently. You carry yourself with more confidence because you know you're doing the work. Discipline builds pride, and pride fuels progress, so don't wait to feel ready. Don't wait to feel motivated. Start where you are. Do what you can. Show up anyway. Discipline first. Motivation will follow. Ladies and gentlemen, let me talk to you about something that can quietly change your entire life if you truly understand it. Feed your mind before the world feeds it. Every single day, the world is competing for your attention. News, social media, opinions, negativity, comparisons, and distractions are waiting for you the moment you open your eyes. If you allow all of that to enter your mind first. Don't be surprised when you feel overwhelmed, confused, or drained before the day even begins. Your mind is like soil. Whatever you plant in it early will grow throughout the day. If the first things you consume are complaints, bad news, or other people's success stories, you start your day feeling behind. You haven't failed yet, but mentally you already feel small. That's because the world doesn't feed you confidence, it feeds you chaos. It doesn't feed you clarity, it feeds you noise. That's why you have to be intentional about what goes into your mind before anything else. Before you scroll, before you listen to gossip, before you check notifications, you need to give your mind something solid, something that reminds you of who you are and where you're going. It could be a few pages of a book, a motivational talk, a prayer, or even a quiet moment where you speak positive words to yourself. What matters is not how long you do it, but that you do it first. Most people don't realize how much outside influence shapes their mood. They think they're tired, but really they're mentally overloaded. They think they're unmotivated, but really they're mentally unfazed. When you start your day consuming the wrong things, your energy leaks away without you noticing. And by the time it's time to work on your dreams, there's nothing left. When you feed your mind first, you take control back. You're no longer reacting to life, you're responding to it. Instead of carrying everyone else's problems, opinions, and expectations, you walk into your day with your own sense of direction. You move with purpose because your mind has already been reminded of your values. Let me tell you this, the world will always be loud. There will always be bad news. There will always be someone doing better than you and someone doing worse. But when you feed your mind properly, those things don't shake you the same way. You stop comparing your beginning to someone else's middle. You stop letting temporary situations define your permanent identity. Feeding your mind daily is not selfish, it's necessary. You cannot pour into others if you're empty yourself. You cannot stay strong if you never refuel. And you cannot expect positive outcomes from a negative mental diet. Just like your body reflects what you eat, your life reflects what you think. Some of you wonder why your confidence goes up and down. It's because your mental input is inconsistent. One day you're inspired, the next day you're discouraged. That's not because you changed, it's because what you consumed changed. When you make feeding your mind a priority, your confidence becomes more stable. You don't have to control the entire world. You just have to control what you allow into your mind first. That one decision can protect your peace, sharpen your focus, and strengthen your belief in yourself. The mind you feed is the life you lead. Ladies and gentlemen, let me speak to you about something that separates people who grow from people who stay stuck. Consistency builds confidence. A lot of folks think confidence comes from winning big, from overnight success, or from having everything figured out. But real confidence doesn't come from big moments. It comes from keeping small promises to yourself every single day. See, confidence is not loud. It's quiet. It's built in the dark when nobody is watching. It's built when you show up even when you don't feel like it. Every time you do what you said you were going to do, your mind takes note. You begin to trust yourself. And once you trust yourself, you stop second guessing everything. Most people struggle with confidence because they are inconsistent. One day they're motivated. The next day they disappear. One week they're focused. The next week they quit. And every time they quit on themselves, their self-belief takes a hit. After a while, they don't even trust their own plans because history has taught them that they won't follow through. Consistency fixes that. It doesn't require perfection. It just requires showing up, even on bad days, especially on bad days. When you push through resistance and still take action, something powerful happens. You prove to yourself that your circumstances don't control you. Your mindset does. Let me tell you something important. You don't need to do everything. You just need to do something consistently. Small actions done daily will always outperform big actions done once in a while. Reading 10 minutes a day beats reading 1 hour once a month. Saving a little every day beats waiting for a miracle. Progress compounds when consistency is involved. When you become consistent, your confidence stops depending on outside validation. You don't need applause. You don't need likes. You don't need permission. You know you're putting in the work, and that inner knowledge gives you strength. You walk differently. You speak differently. You make decisions with more certainty because you trust your own effort. Consistency also teaches patience. It reminds you that real growth takes time. We live in a world that wants instant results, but life doesn't work that way. When you commit to consistency, you stop rushing the process. You stop quitting just because results are slow. You understand that the work you're doing today is preparing you for opportunities you haven't even seen yet. Some of you are closer than you think. You're not failing, you're just inconsistent. You stop just before momentum kicks in. You quit just before progress shows up. If you would simply stay with it a little longer, everything could change. Confidence grows when your actions match your words. It grows when you honor your routine. It grows when you keep going, even when nobody claps for you. And the more confident you become, the easier it is to stay consistent. They feed each other. You don't become confident and then act. You act consistently and confidence follows. That's how strong people are built. Not overnight, but daily. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something powerful that most people overlook. What you repeat becomes your reality. Your life right now is not an accident. It is largely the result of the thoughts you have allowed to play on repeat in your mind. Whether those thoughts are positive or negative, encouraging or discouraging, they are shaping how you see yourself and what you believe is possible. See, your mind is always listening. Every word you say to yourself matters. When you repeatedly tell yourself that you're not good enough, not smart enough, not lucky enough, your mind accepts that as truth and starts building a life that matches that belief. On the other hand, when you consistently speak belief, confidence, and hope into yourself, your mind begins to look for ways to make those words real. Most people don't fail because life is against them. They fail because they repeat the wrong story about themselves. They wake up every day replaying the same doubts, the same fears, the same excuses. And over time, those thoughts turn into habits, those habits turn into actions, and those actions turn into results. Repetition is powerful, whether you use it for or against yourself. Let me say this clearly. Your mind does not argue with repetition. It accepts it. That's why advertising works. That's why negative experiences stick with you. And that's why positive affirmations, when repeated daily, can change your entire outlook. Whatever you keep saying, your mind starts believing. Whatever your mind believes, your life starts reflecting. Some of you keep repeating your past. You remind yourself of what went wrong, who hurt you, where you failed. And every time you repeat it, you keep yourself stuck in that moment. You can't move forward while rehearsing yesterday's pain. Repetition should be used to build your future, not relive your past. Successful people understand this. They repeat discipline. They repeat positive self-talk. They repeat healthy habits. Even when they don't feel confident, they speak confidence. Even when they're afraid, they repeat courage. Over time, those repeated thoughts become natural. What once felt forced becomes familiar. You don't change your life with one good thought. You change your life with consistent good thinking. One positive day won't fix everything, but repeated positive days will transform you. That's how belief is built. Not in moments, but in patterns. Be careful what you repeat in your quiet moments. Be careful what you say about yourself when nobody else is listening, because that voice becomes your guide. If that voice is harsh, your life will feel heavy. If that voice is encouraging, your life will start opening up. Let me tell you this. You don't need to lie to yourself. You just need to speak possibility instead of limitation. Instead of saying, I can't stop repeating, I'm learning. Instead of, I'm stuck, repeat, I'm growing. Those small shifts, repeated daily, can completely change how you show up in the world. Your reality is built one thought at a time, one word at a time, one repeated belief at a time. If you want a different life, start repeating a different message. Because what you repeat doesn't just stay in your mind, it becomes who you are. Ladies and gentlemen, let me close this out by telling you something that reaches far beyond today, far beyond this moment. A strong mind creates a strong future. People often think the future is built by luck, connections, or perfect timing. But the truth is, your future being shaped every single day by the way you think. Especially when things don't go your way, Your mind is the control center of your life. When your mind is weak, every obstacle feels bigger than it really is. Small problems feel overwhelming. Criticism feels personal. Failure feels final. But when your mind is strong, you don't break under pressure. You bend, you learn, and you keep moving forward. A strong mind doesn't mean you never doubt yourself. It means you don't let doubt stop you. It doesn't mean you never get tired. It means you don't quit when you're tired. Strength of mind is built through challenges, not comfort. Every time you face something hard and choose to keep going, your mind gets stronger. Some of you are worried about your future because you keep imagining the worst. But your future doesn't respond to fear, it responds to preparation. When you build mental strength, you stop being afraid of tomorrow because you trust yourself to handle whatever comes. You know that even if things don't go as planned, you'll figure it out. Let me tell you something important. Life will test you. It will test your patience, your faith, your confidence. You cannot avoid these tests, but you can prepare for them. A strong mind is prepared. It doesn't panic at setbacks. It doesn't collapse at rejection. It understands that setbacks are not stop signs. They are lessons. Your future success depends on how you respond to failure today. Do you see it as proof that you're not good enough, or do you see it as part of the process? A strong mind chooses growth over self-pity. It asks, what can I learn? Instead of, why is this happening to me? Strong-minded people don't wait for perfect conditions. They create momentum in imperfect situations. They don't need everything to be easy. They just need to believe in their ability to adapt. That belief changes how they move through life. It gives them resilience. You don't build a strong mind overnight. You build it daily through choices. Choosing discipline over excuses. Choosing belief over fear. Choosing effort over comfort. Those choices stack up, and over time, they create a future that is stable, confident, and purposeful. Your future self is depending on the strength of your mind today. Every thought you choose, every challenge you face, every moment you push forward instead of giving up, you are laying bricks for the life you haven't seen yet. And when that future arrives, it will not be an accident. It will be the result of the strong mind you built along the way.